Nerdrotic.com.
All right. Welcome to the Friday Night Tights Super Chat Square Up. This is probably going to be part one, and then part two will be the rest of Friday Night Tights, some Inquisition stuff. I think a couple from the top 5 reasons Doctor Who is dead. That'll be out over the weekend. My time is very limited. That's why I could even do a video today. Sorry. I was actually this close to doing an Ellen DeGeneres video because I don't know, I'm enthralled with this story. Now, the Ellen DeGeneres stuff sparked up around May, I believe, when a bunch of her employees started throwing her under the bus, and story after story has come out how she won't let people make eye contact with her and stuff. It's ridiculous. And the one thing I've noticed is Hollywood is going to absolutely eat itself if this goes on too much longer and they don't start getting back to work. Because, I mean, these people are dying for relevancy anyway, and at least, thankful. I guess we could be thankful that they're not all coming over to YouTube, because they know damn well that if they come over here, we'll really get to know them, and then it'll be over. And I don't know. I got to say, it's a guilty pleasure watching the elitists take each other out. And and it goes beyond not making eye contact. And Ellen just came out with an apology today, and she just threw her staff under the bus. And it's like, oh my God, they have no shame. They have no shame. So yeah, I'm fascinated with that stuff. I'm not sure if you are, but I am, because I think Hollywood can continue to be entertaining in so many ways. All right. So we had Cecil on last Friday. The comic book industry has just imploded. So again, that's another industry that's just eating itself alive right now. And, Hollywood doesn't have a Comicsgate to focus on. And there's a bunch of bored people out there in the comic book industry because the pencils are down. So they're taking aim at Comicsgate because those guys are making money. Listen, they're not a bunch of angels over there. I've said that, but neither is the comic book industry. As bad as you think Comicsgate is, the establishment industry is so much worse. Keep in mind, they had to remind each other not to go raping when they go out to a party. Just remember, it's a very insular industry, so a lot of these pros know each other, and they all know a guy named Scott Alley. If you don't know about Scott Alley, he's an editor from Dark Horse. He worked on The Umbrella Academy, one of my favorite books. It's a show I'm going to watch later tonight. And everybody knows this dude, and everybody knows about this dude. So they all know what's up. And part 2 of the Whisper Network article came out today. It's lengthy, from Penny Parker on Bleeding Cool. I'm guessing that's a pen name. I'm just guessing it's a pen name. We're going to go over that extensively on Friday Night Tights. Well, I don't know if we're going to go extensively. We'll go over some of it, all right? Because, we try to go with content that caters to our guest, So this Friday, we will have the Critical Drinker. Now, the Critical Drinker is a great guest, because he covers pretty much everything we do, better, but he covers everything we do. So we're going to have Critical Drinker on. We've got a little bit of Star Trek news. I'm in contact with Lady Gravemaster right now. We're trying to organize our organization. It's a mess, but she's getting there. And we are going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. Cancel culture did you know cancel culture is caused by capitalism? That's right. We'll cover that one as well. So I think it's going to be a good show. And I really appreciate everyone who has come to the show. And, it's nothing without you guys. The chat is lively as hell. And I go back and rewatch it in parts over the course of the week to kind of go over and see where I screwed up, what improvements can be made, and most importantly, what goes on in the chat. Now, I trust my mods, but it seems like I don't know if the shows are going too long, or I mean, a lot of the mods. I mean, I'm on West Coast time, so it does kind of suck for any of my mods in like on the East Coast of Canada, or in the East Coast, or in the UK. So we're gonna. And Eric K is on the West Coast with me over here, and he has been doing a great job. So is according to Christy and Nyla Shadow and Mark Lazurth and all the others. And of course our producer, Lady Gravemaster. But we're going to try to find a couple of permanent mods to help out just for Friday Night Tights, just to let you guys know. But yeah, I've been, the chat can do what the chat can do. Just to reset, I absolutely believe in free speech, but I also believe in keeping my channel on YouTube. So it's important that the chat gets curated a little bit. We don't like to get too heavily partisan. And it's because of both sides are welcome here. I don't necessarily have a problem. I don't have a problem at all somebody praising the Orange Man. It doesn't bother me at all. And I have no problem with somebody criticizing. It doesn't, I think that's okay. I think what we're trying to do is bring some neutrality back into the world. But it's not perfect in the chat, and I don't think it'll ever will be, but we just try to make it as good as we can. And I appreciate everyone who has supported the show. It's been a ton of fun. It's really made the beer bug tolerable. All right, so we're going to start out. We ended the Super Chats, and we still went on for a half an hour because we did the Eisner nominees towards the end of the show. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. But we'll start with Culture Casino. I remember this. I think this was the last one we did. I'm not entirely sure. At what point do we get our entertainment back? Is it really 4 more years? Do these media companies really have that much money to burn? Well, as you know, Culture Casino, because you've got your ear to the ground, you know what's up. They don't. They have been using our money right now, and they have been using our money to help perpetuate what's been going on out there. Now, with the rioting and the looting, and I'm not going to back off on that at all, the rioting and the looting, which is criminal, which is separate from the peaceful protesting, which was used for rioting and looting. And while I am very sorry that legitimate peaceful protesting, which is allowed in this country, was hijacked or used, I don't know. Honestly, I can't separate them now. So I think I said this early on, everybody should have just stayed home. You just should have stayed home. And now y'all we're all suffering the consequences, like major consequences. Things would have been okay if we would have opened up as planned, around July. Things were opening back up. I walked into a comic store in San Diego a few weeks ago. And I know there's a lot of manipulation, a lot of bullshit going on, but the fact of the matter is Hollywood helped perpetuate this nonsense, and now they are paying the price. And I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not sorry at all. And I've said it before. I've said it again. Hollywood is at a crossroads right now. Do they want to get woke or go broke? Because now they have to make a decision. You can go and do all your virtue signaling. Nobody's going to want to watch that shit at all. There's a lot of angry people about that right now. And a lot of people are just fucking over it. We want to get back to normal. And you just delayed that for a long, long time. So now there's going to be no movies in theaters for the rest of the year. I certainly think the numbers could go back down, but I think they strategically want them to go back up by the election. We all know this is going on. Come on, please. So we'll take it one day at a time, and we'll see what happens. But Hollywood has fundamentally changed from this, and they're going to have to make stuff people want to watch. And and there's a few things that are out there. It remains to be seen if Umbrella Academy goes woke again. I'm going to watch that tonight. I love the first season. We'll see. We'll see. I'm fully expecting for that to happen at some point. Adam Wolford for $5. D&D didn't run out of source material. They cut it out of the books and left it. They cut it out of the books and left it out of the show. There was enough for at least 4 more seasons. Adam Wolford, there was enough for 5 more seasons. And they cut out integral stuff from the game of the A Song of Ice and Fire books that would have given us a more satisfying ending, and it wouldn't have taken much. A couple of flashbacks, a couple of side stories here, and it would have been fine. Jack White for $5. When will some in Hollywood grow a pair and show Kathleen Kennedy, Joey Q, Sana Amanat, and their ilk what real equality looks like, meaning equal consequences? Well, we're about to see that. Some are predicting a bloodletting at Disney. I saw a rumor today that Bob Iger might be fired. I went and looked. I've been doing a bunch of research today in between, like, I don't know. That's all I pretty much did today was just read articles. And I don't know. The stock market seems to think Disney is going to be okay. I mean, they're still going to lose a bunch, but they're going to be okay. So we'll see. The thing is, Disney has 2 very expensive franchises that need movies to be made. And if they can't make movies and make billions off these franchises, what's the point in having them? Now, Marvel, you're good. Marvel, you're good. If you know what, you can end the MCU and never make another MCU movie, and off of their licensing alone for a little while, that can get you by. Well, I can't say never make a movie again, but you can go 5 years without making a movie, and they can live off of Spider-Man t-shirts. But eventually, you're going to have to make a movie. And we'll see. We'll see. Cecil is EBS's Gilligan, says Unrelenting Male for $1.99. He is. Zachary Moore for $4.99. Hail, chat. Listening to Friday Night Tights while driving out of town for the weekend. Ah, that's good. Listen, that's awesome that we're kind of a radio show. I always, that was a dream job of mine as a kid. I wanted to be a radio show. I wanted to be a disc jockey, right? But then I actually, when I was parts driving, I wanted to be a talk show host. I was thinking about going to communication school, but then I realized I really suck at school. But look, I mean, this is the new talk show host, right? I don't think people listen to radio anymore, so I'm very glad you listen to us. By the way, you can listen to Nerdrotic, Friday Night Tights, The Inquisition, Nerdrotic Nooner, and some Exozone shows through nerdrotic.com, which feeds into iTunes, Player FM, any iTunes mirror site, or Spotify. If you have a Spotify, I am now there, and all of my videos, live streams, everything goes up there because it gets backed up on my website. Of course, there are only audio versions. I don't know how enjoyable that makes the videos, but it's all there. And there is an Exozone page on Nerdrotic, or if you go to Nerdrotic Live, there is an Exozone playlist. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. The answer is late August. It gets ramped up again to be a regular thing, and then possibly expanding on it. See, the less entertainment news there's going to be, I'm going to have to find other things to talk about. That's why I was like this close to doing an Ellen video, which I probably will. I've done videos like that in the past, and they've actually done pretty well. The Ricky Gervais stuff, Dave Chappelle stuff, Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled. Anytime Hollywood gets humbled, people like to see it, and my God, I love to talk about it because they are adult pretenders. And they constantly try to tell us how to live instead of being the dancing, I hate to use the term, we'll call them puppets, the dancing puppets that they are, the meat puppets. Big Fat Nerd for £1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. I appreciate it. Leg Kick 1 for $2. Hellstrom trailer came out. Hellstrom trailer came out? It did. I don't know that. I did not know that. Cecil. Oh, the Hellstrom? I was like thinking of something else. Did it really come out? Leg Kick? I'm going to check that out. I'm going to pause. and I'll be right back. You won't even notice a thing. You won't notice at all because the magic of editing. Okay, well, I just saw the Hellstrom trailer, and what a complete waste of fucking time. So Damien Hellstrom, who is the son of Satan, has been turned into a brother-sister duo that is the son and daughter of a serial killer. In other words, not the source material. And that is Hollywood. If you're going to have a white male lead, it better have a female co-lead there who will probably be the focus of the show, because you cannot depict white males at all anymore. See, when did it become inclusivity and diversity and then just getting rid of white male leads? Like at all. So, and if you have one, they have to be saddled. Look what they did in Endgame to Hulk, to Thor. And, you know, they had to get Captain America out there, and then they did him wrong at the end. They killed off Tony Stark and Cap. How in the fuck do you think the MCU is going to survive? Now Marvel comes out with Hellstrom, which, again, one of my favorite characters, the son of Satan. And it couldn't be further from the fucking actual show. What a waste of time. Fuck it. Cecil as next time you're kicking around hot British actresses, Justine Lord in The Prisoner, the girl who was death. That short hair and legs, underrated hotness, says Stephen Mario for $10 US. Man of War 665 for $5. Have to disagree. Cecil is the gimp to EVS's Zed. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with you there either. Gimp, Gilligan, what's the difference? Louis the Plank for $2. Ugh, it's more like Star Trek Discard. Yes, that's what I called it when it first aired. Armando Di Erico for $5 Chilean dollars. Chilean. For Nick Barucci's testicle transplant. Oh, the bending of the knee went even further. If you please refer to yesterday's Nerdrotic Nooner. Louis the Plank, hashtag RIP Star Trek. Absolutely. Louis the Plank. Let's go down here. Ian Slater bets on that the questions from fans on Comic-Con for Trek were pre-written. These panels are furthering the SJW narrative. It's not fan-based, my opinion. Oh, Ian Slater, it wasn't. And if you watch my video, please refer to my video. Towards the end, I think I found a little proof that they were pre-written and made up. Made up. I don't think there's enough fans who write genuine requests. You know, I'm trying to sound this without sounding like I'm big-shotting anybody. I'm not big-shotting anybody. It's just I'm a regular dude. I'm a regular fan. My channel is at almost at 260,000 subs. It's not that big of a deal. Actually, we're going through kind of a slow phase right now, but whatever. I mean, the live streaming's been kicking ass. That's all I care. Yeah, right now, that's the most fun. But now that I have a channel with 260,000 subs and I see how much email somebody can get and how much traction, and I've dived into YouTube analytics, and I can see, you know, when people are watching something, you know, when a video has 300,000 views or 100,000 views, you see how much people actually watch the whole thing, and you see viewing habits, and they're the same everywhere. You see how much interaction there is with that number of people, right? So I've always heard that the Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard on that streaming service, they don't get 1 million views on that at all. They get 300,000. And is that people watching the entire episode? I don't know. But they have been bleeding money. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're not getting letters. They're not getting comments. They had viewer questions. Where did you submit the viewer questions? Has anybody gone and seen? Did they ask for viewer questions? Because nobody knew they were recording this. So if nobody knew they were recording this, how did they request viewer questions? Now, maybe I missed it. Maybe it was on a website somewhere. But when I heard that last comment, It sounded a lot like the comments that were found by Red Letter Media. That's why I put it in the video. I hope that makes sense. Hail all. Interesting. The Starfleet emblem is depicted sideways in these new bogus Trek products. Very telling. Love your work. Take care. Bianca Blast, thank you for the $5 Australian. We love you too. And yeah, it's how could it be 25% difference? Blah, 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 blah. They have all of Star Trek now, so they can make movies and they can do stuff. So I don't know if the 25% different thing is even in play. And it doesn't matter because they don't make any. They don't make any toys. They don't make any, they make tchotchke stuff, but they don't have any actual licensees. They don't have a toy company making toys. They make shirts here and there, but like I can make shirts. You can make shirts now. It's not that difficult. They don't have any licensees paying them large amounts of money to produce things, which is what they need to produce something like this because they are not making money off a streaming service. Period. End of story. Fats Aguero for $10. The cast watched Watch Mojo's top 10 episodes and ran with that. I bet Captain Xavier doesn't even remember his character forced Native Americans off planet for Cardassians. Hashtag Tom Hardy for young Picard. Hey, Tom Hardy would be, I think he's too yoked for young Picard. He would have to, well, I don't know. Isn't Tom Hardy close to Patrick Stewart's age from The Next Generation? I mean, Patrick Stewart looked old, but he was, so he's pushing 80 now. He was in his 50s then. Tom Hardy's got to, yeah, Tom Hardy's probably in his, early 40s, late 30s? It's all fun and games till someone loses an eye. Eric K. for $2, you're right. Chris Stanley, thank you for the poop for 99 cents. X Morbius for $4.99. You guys are all chill dudes. Thanks for being great to listen to. That's great. We like to hear that. We do. Mr. Fish vanishes for $5 Australian. Still listening, Gary. Nice live stream from the team. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad people enjoy our dulcet tones as we talk a lot of shit. Yeah. We went over Brie's video. I thought that was pretty good. Some people might see it as piling on. You know what? You put a video on YouTube, you're open to it. You know, that's why yesterday on the Nooner I was talking about I don't really go after individuals. We go after public figures, but if you're not like a public figure or you're not like a Brie Larson or somebody who's huge, I kind of lay off. Now, somebody mentioned like you went after Tom King. Well, I went after Tom King because he went after an individual, like who's not even in the industry. So once a professional does that, it is fair game. But I don't pick on Tom King. I don't search him out. He made a shitty Batman. And what I did, I simply stopped buying it. I said, this comic book is shitty. Tom King is not good at writing Batman, and I'm going to stop buying it. But then when he starts systematically trying to take out people I know and take out individuals to try to, well, for kicks, and also because they know their days are numbered in the comic book industry, yeah, they're fair fucking game, my opinion. Just gave Sporking News his 839th sub. We are around, and we roll as we do. Oscar Mayer, thank you very much. Sporking News podcast got to 1,000 subs, by the way. We got him there. Sporking News podcast for $2. We are, what were you going to say before the barking 148 to go? Oh, I don't know what I was going to say, dude, but we got you there. We got you there in like minutes. X Morbius for $1.99. Prequels were great. No. The Star Wars prequels? No. They are not great. They are not even good. They could have been great. Revenge of the Sith was the best. The biggest problem with Revenge of the Sith is you had Anakin going from being buddies with Obi-Wan to killing kids in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and it just felt rushed. That is something, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Revenge of the Sith should have been told over 3. That should have been the trilogy, is Revenge of the Sith. Don't give a shit what Anakin is like as a kid. Don't give a shit what he's like as an adolescent. We just wanted the Clone Wars. That's all we wanted. So that's why it was rushed at the end. And I mean, come on. No. George was not hungry anymore. He was sitting down on the set while everybody else is running around him. Like, dude, I know people liked him as kids, but and don't even relate them to the original trilogy. They're not even in the same universe as the original trilogy. They're not. I mean, they're just flat out not. I know there's nostalgia for the prequels, and they're certainly better than the Disney trilogy. And but it's a big difference from being connected to a movie because you're a kid. Like, listen, there's a bunch of people who like the Goonies from my generation. I don't, but they love it. It's not a good movie. It's flat out not a good movie. It's a cute movie, but it's not like this, Back to the Future. That's a movie for a generation. Raiders of the Lost Ark, the original trilogy. The Star Wars prequels are Darth Maul's cool. The lightsaber fight at the end of Phantom Menace is great. Attack of the Clones, watching Yoda fight was cool. And Revenge of the Sith, like the fight scenes were cool, but the acting is just terrible and static because of George Lucas's directing. So him coming back isn't going to save shit. You need him back as like a consultant, and then you have somebody like Jon Favreau there guiding things. Yes. And I think if you can keep Jon Favreau and have him be the architect for Star Wars, I think there's a better chance of it being good. But quite frankly, Disney's made it pretty freaking clear what their direction is now. Could they change it drastically? I hope so. John Ellis Bush for $4.99. The reason they are so quiet, Gary, is because no one gives a fuck about Star Wars. See, I don't. Jeremy doesn't anymore. I don't. There's still clearly people who do give a fuck, but you have to, there's conditions to that give a fuck, which is you need to erase the trilogy, bring back George Lucas and stuff like that. There's a lot of energy around that. I still don't think it's going to happen, but it's undeniable. Is Interstellar a good movie? Says Ask Grandpappy Fist for $2. I found it very average. I enjoyed it. I know people have problem with the science. I mean, it was cool. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I like, Inception's fun. I don't like all of Nolan's movies. I think Insomnia is terrible. But I mean, I love Memento. Fucking love Memento. So he's mostly pretty good though. But no, I would call it a pretty good movie. Some people love it though. Russell Hall for $2. Forget returning. Will Green Lantern ever get a chin lift? I think GL. George Lucas. Oh, George Lucas. I was like GL guy. I think Green Lantern. No. He's had all this time to get one. He doesn't give a fuck. Red Letter Media Shatner, 456,000 views versus Star Trek Comic-Con, 45,000 in one day. J17601D for £2. Yep. Oh, yeah. If I'd have left my live stream public, it would have gotten more views than that. Onto June. See, what happens with my live streams is I unlist them right when they're done, and then the rest of the views kind of cycle. The count catches up. For the most part, when I'm done with my average live stream will peter out at 25 to 30,000 views. That's being unlisted again. Friday Night Tights is 30 to 40,000. And then it gets another 10 to 15 to 20 on Nerdrotic Live. Now, it would probably be better if I just left them on the main channel, but it kills the algorithm. So it ends up just being even, so whatever it does on Nerdrotic Live, it probably would have done on Nerdrotic anyway, but it saves the algorithm. So But yeah, Red Letter Media just they people love them, man. People love them. Pablo, and they get recommended by YouTube, and that's regularly. So that's a key thing. Pablo Papano for $5. It's his legacy, not Howard the Duck or Radio Murders. He'll be a hands-on producer for Star Wars. George Lucas. At how old is George? How old is George? Let's see. Hey, Google, how old is George Lucas? He's 76 years old. He's 76 years old. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. If he was 65, yeah. 76. I mean, he is 4 years younger than Patrick Stewart. And he is a couple of years older than George R. Martin, and he's not in good, Patrick Stewart's in good shape. He's in good shape. I'm watching on a big delay because I'm stuck at work. Hail Gary, hail CG, hail Cecil back, cash grab. Thanks, guys, for being the best show on YouTube. Nathan M., thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate it. The Zardoz for $100. We read this on the show, but we're going to read it again. Hollywood is not the narcissistic actor. Hollywood is not the narcissist actors, executives, or directors. It is the men and women behind the cameras, the blue collar workers. All the woke idiots are hurting the working people and their families. In Hollywood, rebel or be slaves in their dystopian world. In other words, the Zardoz is calling for all the workers. God, I hate to sound like a fucking commie, because I don't. But all the regular folk need to speak up, all right? Where are your fucking unions during this thing? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Hollywood uses this beer bug as an excuse to break the union. So you better be watching out for that. I'm not a union guy. I am a capitalist, but I do believe in limiting yourself, not the government limiting you. But when Jeff Bezos' wife gets $50 billion for just being Jeff Bezos' wife, and now she can have more influence than 1 million people combined in this country, that's a problem. That's a problem. See, the thing is, people use our freedom against us, and that sucks because we all want to be primarily free without conditions. The problem is the enemies of freedom will use that to kill the freedom. Remember we used to be able to just get on planes without getting patted down and taking our shoes off, but few people, a couple planes going into a building, and now that changes forever. It's a good change. It had to happen, but that's how people use freedom against us. Samurai, I'm trolling Kurt's latest tweet. Help me out. Kurtzman? Oh, I didn't see that one in time. I don't follow Kurtzman. I don't at any of these people. I'll at their big companies once in a while. I very rarely do I do that. Rare exception was Tom King when he clowned Jay Lee's dog. I added AT&T. I added Warner Brothers and DC Comics with the "fuck Tom King" meme. SJ, thank you for the $10. Holy crap, guys! Brie Larson has volunteered to play Seamus Aran in the Metroid movie. This has got to stop. Brie Larson isn't really that big of a deal. And if she was, she would have gotten more roles after Captain Marvel, which she didn't. Mr. Fish vanishes. Star Trek has a lot of guilt on its hands. Well, it's got a lot of shit on its hands. Mr. Fish vanishes. Oscar Mayer for $5. 4,600 watching, and we can't get sporking over a G Are you not round? Do you not roll? Oh, we got him over a G. Easily. Thank you, everyone who subscribed to Sporking, by the way. And now it's up to Sporking to keep them there. Victory for fandom. Pompeo delivers speech on communist China and the future of the world. YouTube, Pompeo said, don't bend the knee. Make a vid for us, please. Who's Pompeo? Opinion for $5 Canadian. You guys got to give me context. I don't know every single thing. Okay, let's see what it is. Pompeo. Okay, Pompeo's a politician. So good for a politician for something. I really don't know much about politics. I don't watch the news ever. Bobby Sharp, thank you for the $5 and the emojis. Emperor Billy Ritchie for $4.99. Gary, what would Father Jack Kirby do to Hollywood and comics? Put his cigar out in their collective eyeballs. Chi the Fluffy for 50 Swedish krona. Watch your blood pressure as he's young. He doesn't have to watch it for at least a couple more years. Man of War 665 for $5. You think you guys have it rough? Broke my love seat the other night performing an 88 with Gail Simone. Nearly blinded by the flop sweat. Oh, that's the second hardest $5 I've ever earned in my life. John Ellis Bush for $1.99. As I love you so much. David Tarr for $4.99. Ever wonder why conservatives are... This is the second time David has put one of these up. For $4.99. Ever wonder why conservatives are less educated, less creative, and less physically attractive than liberals? Ever have a progressive, not SJW on? Well, you were watching somebody who was progressive on the show. And I'm sorry, you were saying Apple Emmy's Minion for $5. Thanks to you and the panel for keeping my mind off of my family issues. Congrats, Cecil, for making money out of a mistake by Dynamite. Yeah. A mistake that they are regretting, and they bended both knees, bowed, kissed the ring, and probably sucked the knob. And, well, it's going to cost them. It will cost them. Thundera's Wrath for $9.99. I can't believe Gary was nice enough to say that Hibbs was going to be an upgrade from himself as a retailer. Not as a retailer. Not as an owner. Not even as a human. Terrible personality. Wow. Thank you. I did say that when I sold the shop. I did. But I am free to say that shit now. I'm not. So I was on like this 5-year NDA thing where I couldn't compete or say anything. I am free to say whatever the hell I want now. If you walk into my old shop, there is literally shit hanging from the ceiling that I hung up that's still there. And it was part of a project that wasn't done yet. I was going to hang loose action figures from the ceiling, like from the entrance to the end. And it was just going to be covered in them. And then I was going to hang some like lights off too. Never finished the project. And there's still patches of them hanging on the ceiling. Thank you, Thundera's Wrath. That was very nice. Tomaz Osweja for £10. What you guys think about the Pentagon officially stating today that they have off-world vehicles not made on Earth? Well, we did talk about it. We did an Exozone segment on the Inquisition, Tomaz. So if you go to the last 38 minutes of the Inquisition, we discussed that a lot. Now, that's something we've covered. I think the article is interesting, but it's what's to come. They said they're supposed to disclose information. So while they admitted they had something, they didn't give really any details. The details are what's to come. Don't know when that's going to happen, but that's what I'm waiting for. I almost did a video on that, and I still might. Civil disorder is intentional policy from government, says Mr. Fish vanishes for $5 Australian. Well, from one side of it. Remember, we've got two entities working within our government. So when we say the system, it's really only part of it. And quite frankly, the system is Silicon Valley, mainstream media, mainstream entertainment, and half of our government. The Rock Biter for $5. Come to the South. We have Castle Doctrine, Texas is good, except Austin. Californians have ruined that place. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near fucking Austin. I want to make this real clear to everyone. I'm a born and raised Californian. Now, most of the Californians you see now are not what California was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So I think Californians for a large part get a bad rap, but it's the cities that generally give us this reputation. I'm not saying it's not well earned, but a lot of, it's not everyone. But I will not be voting like a Californian. I'm not leaving to go create something that I tried to leave. I never really have. I've just put up with it because it never really affected me directly. If it doesn't affect me directly, I didn't have a problem with it. But, that's why I've dedicated much of my channel to fighting the pop culture war, and wanted to keep it there so it didn't spill out in the streets. But it did. It did. And now you're going to see some shit entertainment for a little while, and it might bury Hollywood. Hollywood is in danger right now, and I didn't think even the beer bug would put it in danger. The comic industry was in danger immediately because it was hurting before, but now Hollywood, now we're like beyond. I mean, the comic industry is done. It is cooked. There is no hope for it. Most of your comic shops reside in California and New York and New Jersey. If those places remain closed, you're screwed. Curbside service isn't enough. But a lot of them are staying alive on the PPP. Once that's gone, comic industry is basically relying on the PPP right now. Babylon 5 needs more love. Ironcaster, it was a good show. But I know a lot of people love it, but it's not around. You're not getting any more of it. There's not a lot of, I think it's got a very small, but like passionate audience, kind of like Farscape does. I think Farscape deserves a lot more love. Star Trekker 58 for $5 Australian. Hail Gary and gang. Bought Doctor Who 13th Doctor set of action figures. Few War Doctor was the extra Doctor. So I bought the Doctor Who 13th Doctor set of action figures. Phew. Oh, he went, shoo. War Doctor was the 13th Doctor. Yeah, I've got that set too. Okay, I got what you were saying there. Yeah, I've got that set too. Rogue 9 for $9.99. I was going to buy the boys 6-volume omnibus, but Dynamite decided to fuck Cecil, so I decided to cash grab and visit Tortuga for the boys. F Dynamite. Also, Johnny Depp is the POTC. I don't know what the POTC is, but we like free Johnny Depp, man. I don't cover that normally. Maybe I should, but I don't. I didn't want to get yeah, I just I don't know. I just don't. I pick and choose what I cover. Thomas Ballou for $10. Hey Gary, I bought the t-shirt. It's way cool. I waited all week to watch your show, but please talk to Jeremy when he is a jerk to Az. I just go watch something else. How often is he a jerk? I don't think he's a jerk to Az that much, though. I think they had that one fight, and that was it. Yeah. They get along just fine. Modern movies aren't art; they are merely products, says Viking Insane for 2 Canadian pesos. Thank you. Daniel Nolan, who is practically my neighbor. Daniel Nolan is a great guy. He shopped at my store, and he's the reason I bought my store. Through his dad was selling a bunch of comics. I went to go buy the comics from his dad. His dad said, hey, if you're buying a lot of comics, because I was buying a lot of comics to buy a store in retirement. And he's all, well, if you want to buy a store right now, there's one for sale, like right down the street. I'm all, really? Went and talked to the guy, ended up buying the store. Hated Hibbs since I was 9. If you were a backpack in the store for 5 seconds, Oh, okay, gotcha. Hated Hibbs since I was 9. If you wear a backpack in the store for 5 seconds, he goes off in a fit of rage. Yeah, Hibbs is shit at customer service. But he I don't know, San Franciscans, he fits in San Francisco. We'll just say that. He fits here. Holy crap, thank you. I'll totally disappoint you all, says Sporking News for $2. And that's because he got to 1,000 subs. We got him to 1,000 subs. Mr. Fish vanishes for $5. Guys, I have just seen a Batman face mask walking in my plaza. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Matthew Fowler for $1.99. Love y'all. Hail the Fandom Menace. Hail to you. Hail to you. Keaton Smith for $1.99. CG should start doing metal posters like Displate. Oh, yeah, they might. Why not? Sadokar 7th Legion. Shout out to Comics Jeremy and Jeremy. Get together again. Sadokar 7th Legion for £2. I want another road movie with Gary and Jeremy, please. Oh, you mean we might. We got to be able to go out in the road. It's killing me because I like to travel. I like to go on my little road trips and stuff, but quite frankly, live streaming has been the priority of the channel of late, and that requires me to be here. And there's like, where am I going to go? Nothing's open. But we'll be traveling again soon. Comics check Big Bad Toy Store for $2, says Azure Pandu. I'll have to check that out. Fandom Guard for $14.99. Thank you. Started my channel. I have put a few videos. Jeremy, if you're looking for old G.I. Joes, I have an aircraft carrier, and a lot of them are Joes. The G.I. Joes are cool as hell. I'll admit that. Dag the Gnome for five Canadian pesos. All I want is sharks with frickin' laser beams. Wait. All I want is sharks with frickin' laser beams, but apparently my Cyclopean college colleague tells me that that can't be done. My cycloptic colleague. Why did I say Cyclopean? What the fuck? Toots for $20. Hey, Toots. Please, for the love of Buddha, make it stop. Make it stop. Her friends look like Terry Crews. Oh, shit. Lost hope for $5. Her friend looks like Terry Crews in drag. Oh, shit. This is when we're watching the Brie video. Samurai is puking for 99 cents. Curiously bearded for £10. Hail all. Just made a channel hoping you would check it out. I combine reactions with my own colorful commentary. It's named after my grandfather, and it's pronounced Seriously Bearded. Seriously Bearded. Here's the problem with that. While that's a cool name, it's got to be a name that you can search. It's got to be a searchable name. I mean, I had a hard enough time with Nerdrotic as it was. A lot of people... Shit, Jeremy couldn't say it for the first year. And I think Anti-Tricker was calling it Nerdonic. I don't know how the fuck you would get Nerdonic out of it. But here, I'll go check out your channel real quick. Hang on. I'll be right back. Check out your channel. That's a great start. That is a great, way better than how I started. So well done. I did get to see a little bit of that Transformers. And I don't know. I got to get used to that animation, man. I'm old school. I like the 2D. I like the 2D. It looks pretty good so far. I haven't watched a full episode yet, but I'm kind of focusing on Umbrella Academy. I don't know how many people like the show, honestly. Umbrella Academy, I'm not shitting you. It was one of the best shows of 2019. Period. It was 2019, right? It did come out in 2019, or was it 2018? Can't remember. Taryn Rogers, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Christopher Harris, thank you for the $9.99, and it says $10. Patrick Burke, I don't always give money, but when I do, it's in the hope to shut those two windbags up. Which ones? You said two windbags. I mean, honestly, that could be all of us, Patrick. I don't know. Well, I'm assuming it's not me, since you're coming to my channel. I don't know. I don't think they're windbags. Listen, that's why I do a solo live stream. I like to give people options. I do a live stream with Doomcock. I do a live stream with the guys. I do a live stream with Az over on his channel. I do an Exo. So I'm committed to like a lot of live streams. But yeah. But then you have the Nerdrotic Nooner. Someday it will air at the same time. I don't know. But I just can't do it right now. My days are too crazy, and because I've committed so many live streams, it only gives me so much time to do videos, and that's why my nooners can sometimes get pushed off for hours because I'm doing a video. Because you got to do videos to keep your channel going, and I haven't ridden an algorithm wave in a while. The last one video, I mean, all my videos do, you know, if you do over 80,000, that's pretty freaking good. So I think I've only had one not hit 100,000 in a month, and I think only 3 of my videos haven't hit 100,000 since the beginning of the year. There's one I just released that's questionable. It took a big dip after the first day. We'll have to see how it plays out over the week. But for the most part, they do pretty good. But my Game of Thrones one, my Winds of Winter one, did really well. That's the last one. I haven't hit an algorithmic wave though in about a month or so. That's pretty normal. You go through peaks and valleys with the channel. Phase Aguido for $5. Anyone else hear Tom Baker's doctor screaming, "But what is it for?" during the chick's dumb frelling ramblings? Someone get Perry Chan. I don't. I'll have to rewatch that. I don't remember that. El Presidente for €5. The 3,737 people in the chat are now dumber from hearing those two exhale random sounds. In fact, thousands of my brain cells have off themselves. Yep. I think we lost 1,000 viewers watching that fucking Brie video. Vanya Secundas for $5. Brie has 2 brain cells, and one of them is giving the other CPR. Drake is 6 for $2. Brie Cheese wonders why people openly mock SJW NPCs. No, they don't. She talked about her period in her video today. Philip A. Demick for $2. Failed to recognize the difficulty in making a point. Christopher Gorey for $9.99. No worries, Gary. It is hard to believe that anything could be cringy than the PSTU panel. But Brie, oh yeah, the Star Trek one. But Brie and her very important black friend edged it out. Christopher, a.k.a. the Good Reverend. Hail. That's right. And he's the one who turned me on to it. Thanatos Felicitas for $5. Adam's family motto, sic gorgemius alos subjectos nunc, words to live by. I gladly feast on those who would subdue us. There you go. Cytocar 7th Legion. Everyone watch David Firth. Religion, trust me. Okay, we'll check it out. Matthew Fowler for $1.99. Cecil is hilarious. He is. He is a gifted comedian. J. Pat for $2. It's a re-uploaded Flash Glitz video. Yeah. Rock Flanagan, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate $3. Eric K for $5. Stop oppressing me, showing me this terrible video. We will stop. We did a stop eventually. Paisley Gemini for $4.99. Hail to all. Just back Cecil's campaign. Rock on, bro. Good luck. And thank you. Bald Eagle, 1787 for $5. I've noticed a lot of channels that were demonetized suddenly after ads after Trump passed an executive order about internet censorship. Coincidence? Ad money is down way down this month on YouTube. Lost 10%. Latino Slant for $2. The word is not black and white. Have a taco, Brie. That's right. Oscar Meyer for $5. How many wells have you dug? How many orphanages have you built? Adopt an African and go home already. Says Oscar Meyer for $5. Cesario Adolphus for $20. Hey, Gary, since everything is political agenda, even sports now, I've been listening to classical music and operas because SJWs can't infiltrate it or don't want to. Is that weird? Love all you guys. Keep up the great content. Yeah, well, there's nothing spoken in it. My guess is a lot of people who, an amazing number of artists are Marxist. It's strange. I have a cousin. He was white who started a charity in Bangladesh originally named Crusade of Compassion, says Mr. Fish Vanishes for 10 Australian dollars. There you go. They would probably hate that now. Krista Joe for $4.99. What's up, Krista? Hey, check Brie's Instagram. Justina was on and even took it over for a day. Of course, Brie and her team failed to mention it in the video. Hashtag so embarrassing. Oh my God. Oscar Meyer for $2. Bring it home, girls. Yeah, they couldn't. Lost Hope for $10. Take a note. Please take note of the title of her video. Now, here is the definition of bracket use. Punctuation marks used with a sentence to include information that is not essential to the main point. Exactly. Ord's Board for $5. Sporking News Podcast hit 1,000 subs. That's my boy. Hail the Fandom Menace. Hail Nerdrotic. Hail Sporking News Podcast. Ballistic Brian for $2.99. Justina O, changing the definition of beautiful. Black Tiger, thank you for the $2.99. Black Tiger 001 for $2. Aggressively stupid. That's right. The Washington Angels, Gary. Fat Steven Seagal. Probably the Washington Pizzas. That's what I was thinking. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Ryan Johnson. I was thinking the Washington Cheese Pizzas. Ben Smith for $50. For Lady Gravemaster, the rant was epic. Her passionate and articulate defense of real women, real people, and real missionaries who actually save black lives in Africa needs to be heard far and wide. Give that woman a platform. She has one, Ben. She has one. She needs to use it. Drake is 6 says for $2. Nah, the Washington Pork Wallets. There you go. Washington F-ball team, Washington balls, wash balls. Mr. Fish Vanishes for $5 Australian dollars. The Washington, I don't even know what that is. I'll just say shit. Crispy Critters for $2. There you go. Dolified for $5. Brie Larson's tampon is a pine cone. That's what. Jesus Christ. That's what it feels like. That's what feels like is entertaining whenever I watch one of her videos. Okay. And a appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile hoping it will eat him last. Winston Churchill. Inquisitor B312, thank you for the $5 and well said. MK Solid 82 for $4.99. Did you guys think AOC will keep rising power until she finally reaches Skeletor status? Maybe. She's weird. 24/7 Fusion Media for $5. Cecil. I made a video called Cecil Cancels Ron Mars Just by Existing. Could you please check it out and tell me what you think? I stand with Cecil. I will pass that on to him. Give me just a moment. I will message right now. Steve Vaughn for $5. Remember that Brie claims that it's not what someone says, but what they do. So nothing she says matters. Exploding Pretty for $10. Playing Ghosts of Tsushima. I get to the Mongol rushing water crossing. I find two bears attacking the guards and at the entrance. So I run into the camp with the bears. Me and one bear kill the leader. All right. It's one way to get through it. It's a game I'll never play. But I heard it's good. Inquests. Thank you for the $1.49 phallic unicorn. Sasha Tech for $4.99. Free the titty, protect the city, cup geeks and gamers. Free the titty, protect the city, sup geeks and gamers. Free the titty, protect the city. Free the titty, protect the city. Free speech and boobs, says Sasha Tech for $4.99. Gary gets the Doc Ellis Award for his driver's license test. Acid is hell of a drug, says Thanatos Felicitas for $5. Yes, I took a behind-the-wheel test on acid and passed. True story. Tim Ryder for $5. Nerdrotic, don't erase the rim shot from the soundboard. Will come in handy later on. Yeah. Oh, wait, that's not it. Hang on. I keep forgetting what it is. It's color-coded. It's, oh, God, that goes on forever. No, that's not it. Is it this one? There we go. It's the blue one. I got to remember it's the blue one. So, free the teddy. Oh, no, wait. It's got to be, there's got to be a joke somewhere. Great stream. Thanks, Gary. Panel, hail chat. Says Chris Stanley for $5. Brian Kim for $1.99. Hashtag not my Spock. Hashtag not my Trek. Hashtag I'm sorry, Gene. Oh, did we really just end? Did I really just get through all that? Shit, I just did an Inquisition one. Didn't even know it. Wow. Okay. Well, crap. Then I might as well do some Inquisition. Blah, blah. I can't even fucking talk right now. We'll do some Inquisition ones real quick. Okay, now we're going to be Inquisition Part 1, and then the next Super Chat Square Up will be the Inquisition Part 2, and then a mop-up of the... All right, now this will be the first part of the Inquisition. I'll do about 10 or 15. Then we'll do the rest in a Part 2 with the top 5 reasons Doctor Who is dead. Super Chat Square Up with that kind of mixed in. And we talk a lot of Star Trek and Doctor Who and that. A lot of people like that around this channel. I don't get sick of talking about it. So let's get to the Inquisition stuff right now. Eli McGinnis, thank you for the $3.99 super sticker there. What's it say? Does it do anything? Oh, it just kind of wiggles its nose like Genie. Sam Whiskey for $4.99. After they get done destroying the franchises they hate, they'll destroy the franchises they love. Yeah, they're just they don't love anything though, Sam. They just freaking hate because they're the predator group. Hey, Lord Doomcock, do you know Urban Acolyte? He has been making all kinds of Doomcock exposed BS. Charlie Foxtrot, $4.99. Yes, I am aware of Urban Acolyte, and Doomcock takes the exact same philosophy as I do towards channels who are critical of us. They have every right to do that. They have every right to take shots at our arguments. Some certainly get personal, and I'm not a fan of that. Well, I freaking hate it, but I can't control it. But the thing is, they're dying for us to address them because they want to get into an actual debate so they can start some some YouTube drama. There's a few channels out there that make their living off that. I won't even mention it because if you mention the channel's name, he all of a sudden makes like 6 videos about you. So I won't mention the channel's name. I'll just say, guys, I'm not saying you're untalented on YouTube. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you're going about it wrong. If you want to get more traction, there's better ways to go. You don't have to agree with us. You don't have to at all. You don't have to be in our sphere at all. There's a lot of ways to be successful on this platform, but the one way that isn't is just trying to glom off of other YouTubers are forever. Now, you can certainly make a video, like I said, disagreeing with the argument. Well, a lot of Doomcock's rumors, I have a hard time believing myself, but Doomcock has every right to run with them. It's his channel. People are sending him stuff. And look, I've done it in the past, and I'll do it again in the future, and I won't feel sorry about it at all. Now, if the rumor isn't true or it doesn't come to fruition, I'll say so. And that's it, Listen, the last rumor I ran with was Jody and Chibnall are gone after this season. Now, if Jody somehow miraculously re-signs, I'm going to come out and say, that was wrong. but I've got it from a pretty good source that they're gone. And, well, I mean, shit, the more things get delayed, the more that's going to be true anyway. We don't know what's going to come out soon. And I think things are ramping back up in the UK because they didn't riot and loot as much as we did. So their cases didn't go up, or that wasn't used for their cases to go up. He's making money for himself. Why would a narcissist think that he has failed? Michael Beacom for $5. I don't know what that's in reference to, but he's making money for himself. Why would a narcissist think he has failed? Simply, well, I mean, okay, if we're talking, if that's Michael Beacon, I don't know what that question is for, but let's just say you're talking about either Alex Kurtzman or we'll say Alex Kurtzman. Okay, we'll say Alex Kurtzman. Is just making money success when you're making art? Is your goal just to make money? And maybe it is for Alex Kurtzman. And maybe he doesn't give a fuck about Star Trek. And maybe all he wants to make money. Then he didn't fail in his goals, but he's failed Star Trek fans. He's failed immensely over and over again. So if that's what your question is in reference to, but yeah, just making money isn't succeeding. I don't feel that way on this channel at all. I succeed and fail by the quality of my videos, by the reaction, by my live streams, by your reactions. That's how I succeed and fail. It's not just how I'm able to pay the bills. Ankaris for 20 Australian dollars. Had they made Picard drug addicted after some kind of devastating life event and we follow his journey back with the support of friends, Starfleet, Vulcans, Klingons, etc., that might have been more interesting. Yep, I agree. As long as it wasn't written by Alex Kurtzman. Aaron Long for $5. You guys should make a list of who would you put on the USS Callister forever for being woke. Also, sucks that Immortal Hulk is coming to an end. Aaron Long, I stopped reading it because the writer was a son of a bitch to some customers on Twitter. So, yeah, but I heard it was a decent run. Josh versus the caffeine riddled. Hey, Gary, pretty please, would you get this donation to Mrs. Nerdrotic? Let her know we really appreciate her. We really appreciate you too, but like friends and stuff, you're like the internet father we never had. I'm not crying. You're not crying. We're not crying. Thanks. That's $100 super chat, by the way. That is very generous. And yeah, she gets half of all my super chats, my friends. We're married. It's California law. But no, we share a bank account. So yeah, she gets whatever she wants. Sam Whiskey for $4.99. Hey Gary, is the blue batsuit designed by the Smurfs? Gay Smurfs, yes. The John Beck for $2. In empty space, no one can hear you stream. John Beck, that is true. That is true. Mike Blair for $19.99. Gary plus DVD, full stop. Yes, you need to stop and watch. Eric K for $2. Olivia D. Haviland, R.I.P. Hang on a second. Let's see who that. R.I.P. Olivia. R.I.P. Wow. Holy crap. She was in Robin Hood? Oh my God. Yeah, this movie's freaking Robin Hood is great. Great film. God damn, it's a great film. When I was a youngster, they would play this like regularly on network television, on prime time. They would play Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn. Lots of stories about Errol Flynn. Man, actors died young back then. Remember all that hard living? But god damn, was he a great Robin Hood. That's a 1/6 scale. I'd love to have an Errol Flynn Robin Hood. It makes me want to watch that movie. I need to get that on Blu-ray. I don't have it on Blu-ray. Let's make that happen. Let's make it happen. Peter Quincy Taggart. Hail, Gary and Doomcock. Thank you for speaking out about the woke destruction of media. It means a lot to me. And thank you for listening. We need to commiserate. We also need to change it. And as we grow, we can maybe show that not everyone is woke and NPC. You know, hey, it was a good run. Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Star Wars meant the world to me. But when I was growing up, after the last couple of years, I don't care. But hey, they succeeded in making me an anti-SJW where I was apathetic before. And that's admin Grumpy Bear. That's exactly where I was at. I was never sympathetic to the SJW cause. I have been centrist all of my life. And what I mean by centrist is independent. I was a bit of an anarchist when I was a kid. So I was like, no government, fuck everything. But I became an adult, and I like our system. I think our system works, and I think I'm living proof. It wasn't white privilege that saved my ass. It was hard work and determination. I came from a good family, and my dad made a lot of money and stuff, but I also was kicked out of my house when I was 15 because I was a horrible drug addict and a huge problem. And I lived on the street for many years and pulled myself out of it. And I don't think there's a lot of countries that it would have been possible for me to succeed. I think there's a lot of countries that would have helped me, that would have given me, welfare and stuff, but they would have kept me in that space. This country allowed me to work and get out of that space and rise above what could have been just, being on welfare or whatever. And listen, if you're on that kind of stuff and you need to be, that's fine. I think it does serve a purpose for people who are actually in need. Okay. Same with unemployment and all that stuff. Not entirely against it. But I like having the opportunity to rise what I would believe is above my station, which is pretty average. Brian Nedifer for $4.99. I must know, Gary, why didn't you like the Amazing Spider-Man movies? I was glad he had his sense of humor. Holland and Toby don't. R.I.P. Doctor Who. The Amazing Spider-Man movies are too morose, and it's not Peter Parker at all. He had a little bit more sense of humor than Toby, but it just flat out didn't feel like Spider-Man. Now, the first Amazing Spider-Man movie was better than the second, but the second was garbage and forgettable. So, yeah. Toby, Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Holland, not for me. 13th Warrior for $5. CBS are hypocrites. They use enslaved bots to police Nerdrotic Star Trek videos. Android rights are violated at CBS. Oh, yes, they do. They do. And KARENS for $5 Australian dollars. Go, Doomcock, let the hate flow. And he did. Grandpappy Fisk for $2. Don't forget the Klingons light their ship by fire. Yeah, they use torches on their fucking spaceship. Insane Hippie Insane for $5. Picard does a half-assed copy of Church's storyline from Red versus Blue from Rooster Teeth with Data. What the fuck? I don't know. I know Rooster Teeth. I know what Rooster Teeth is through Clownfish TV. I'm a Star Trek casual, but I've always thought it was his relationship with Kirk and McCoy that helped him better understand his human half. Yeah, Spock, yeah, not fucking Michael Burnham. And even a casual recognizes that. Ben Frail for $2. Curse you, Gary. I was about to get out of bed. Don't get out of bed. Can't stay tonight. Got a hot date. Keep up the fight, boys, says Carrion, which in residence for 5 Canadian pesos. And that's where we will end the Super Chat Square Up. Okay, that's it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you tonight on Friday Night Tights with the Critical Drinker, so be sure to tune in. We might be going on a little bit earlier, not sure, so keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on YouTube, and thanks everyone for your support. See you next time.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.